A couple of weeks ago, we reported on the Army's most futuristic training exercise yet, Urban Warrior, which took place at a bespoke facility in northern France. This week, we bring you a series of in-depth features about those involved in the exercise and its significance as the Army looks beyond 2020. Tonight, the focus is on the gadgetry employed on a scale not used before. Julie Knox reports.
It's experimental, throwing together urban conflict scenarios where foot soldiers haven't fought for years and arming them with real and simulated weapons systems. Overseen by the geeks.
What we've got here is the experimental control room. So we're controlling the exercise, all the moving parts that are going through the village down there. And at the same time, we've got the Saab technicians who are able to show us exactly where people are, who's firing at who, the effects of those engagements as they take place. We've also got people busy gathering data in real time, live, while that's taking place, so that we can drill down into those later on and really analyse them in detail.
Primarily, it's about understanding how to do experimentation in the future. So this is one experiment of many. It's about sort of realism, about soldiers having to climb in the back of the vehicles, going through buildings, carrying lots of equipment, struggling with command and control, struggling with communications. It's all of those aspects.
Interested stakeholders from the British and foreign militaries are here to gather information and better understand where the future might be taking them. The data from these and other experiments will be collated for analysis and form a lot of the evidence for decision making on future force manning and planning.
I call myself a bit of a lab rat. We're getting experimented and interviewed every time we do a run, and that we have a lot of scientists who are intrigued about how we do business so that we can do it better in the future.
So we're changing things like their communications, the ability for soldiers to talk to the tanks directly so that they can bring down fires more quickly. We're introducing a Blue Force tracking system so that a platoon commander on the ground can see where all his troops are. At the moment, through the Bowman system, they can only track the Bowman radios, and only the section commanders and above have those, which will hopefully help with control, with safety, reduce the number of instances where perhaps Blue might mistakenly shoot another Blue. So in the end, we hope that will save lives.
Air assets are also enabling the troops as never before.
What we give is a more detailed interaction with the guys on the ground. They can speak to us directly on the radio. They can focus us in. We're also able to operate below the cloud if it's a cloudy day, whereas the UAVs up high might not be able to see a great deal through that weather. So we were a little bit more flexible than the UAVs, and we can work direct to the guys on the ground.
We as a battle group headquarters would like to support and provide that level of support to the company. I think some of the scientists behind here think the company should do more, and the balance of where we come out in 2020 will be probably somewhere between the two.
The pressure right down to the lowest commander and individual has really shown us that every man is a part of the team, and it just takes one person to make a mistake, and that could have huge ramifications for the rest of his small section or platoon and even the company. So it has been a challenging exercise.
When you're out there by yourself, it's nice to know that you can make decisions and they'll be acted on, but when you see it from this side of the fence up here, you are worried about overloading the commander down there. He's looking after the lives of his sort of 150 fighters down in the company group. He shouldn't, I don't think, have to be worrying about which different feeds are coming into which tablets and all the rest of it. So we're trying to find the balance, and I think we're doing it. I think things like the Blue Force tracker, which is letting us know where all our soldiers are. I think things like the communications between dismounted soldiers and tanks and the armoured vehicles is a lifesaver, because in the dark streets in an urban environment, if you don't know who's on the ground in front of you, people can get hurt very quickly. The other bits and pieces we've got, which is very small little ISR things called Black Hornets, I think the guys are enjoying those. They're giving me a little bit of sort of round the corner vision that we haven't had before. So on the whole, it's very, very impressive.
It's clear the merits of a place like this are things you'd want to show off to those who influence defence capability and spending. But should the British Army be building something like this for itself?
Yes, I think we need to have our own. No, we can't keep borrowing from our friends. This is usually full of French soldiers training to do their urban operations. And although it's only 2.5 hours from Calais, it's not particularly convenient to get large numbers of troops here. So we really need to have our own place. And we've got our own place. It's a question of enhancing it, I think, and seeing what we can do to build around it and to improve training facilities like Copal Down and Imber.
The interaction with industry and application of civilian expertise is sure to increase in the future, and with more former members of the military using their previous skills in their second career, that dovetails even better in situations like this.
When I first joined, we spent an awful lot of time on exercise, and of course that's very expensive, and with the heavy commitments we have these days, it's not practical. This sort of system enables us to really target both the training and here the experimentation, so we can reduce the amount of time that soldiers spend out on exercise, because we can improve the quality of that training. And primarily I think these systems have benefit in terms of after-action review. You can very quickly look at the data, you can get the soldiers back in again just after they finished an event, and you can show them who did what, where they moved, and you can talk to them about their procedures.
And for those who still have years ahead in their military lives, it's exciting to see if these predictions will be accurate come 2020.
It's just all the extra bit of tech that's going to that's going to arrive, and how that's going to play in, and and how much that's going to change it. I think there's always going to be the man in the loop, so I don't think that'll change. It'll just be the equipment he's operating. Hopefully, I'll still be here then. We'll just see whether we're right or not.